Right, so Dimelatle inalame ke kabelo se gift hang, and this is the Ink and Thing podcast. I have beautiful guests and a handsome gentleman who I've been trying to get on the show for many years, but he's finally here because I had to track him down. Sinenhlanhla Mgeyi is here.
Alala.
Beautiful, talented, super dope, charisma, Nolwazi.
Oh,
is here. Nolwazi Qwabe.
Yes, Nolwazi Qwabe.
Qwabe. Okay, right. Fethu,
Sure.
thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us, King. Thank you for introduction in Intombi. So, sure, alala.
Yeah, I could have done better, Fethu, because I know you are dope and you're amazing at what you do.
Thank you, King.
I'm gonna start with the lady first. How are you doing?
Sure.
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Yeah, you look dope
Thank you.
and you look warm.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I mean, I decided not to warm. I was telling Usia because I wanted to be like, because I'm a cheesy one, I'm not aesthetically pleasing,
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
cool.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, I'll just go with the t-shirt,
Okay.
even though we are experiencing a cold front.
Sure.
Stager, how are you doing, my king?
Great, I'm
Yeah.
space in a shop. We Africa pen kathele but yes, I'm
Yeah.
a process. You know, it's an artist.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, push. Sure.
Very stylist as always, looking dope, Fethu.
Thank you, Njaya.
You know, one thing about you is that no matter how tired you are or no matter how much work that you have to do, Sneja
Sure.
always makes sure that he looks dope. But I love that about
Thank
him.
you so much.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, Nona's like I'm being for real. Like I can't tell. Every time I'm going to it's my first time seeing you like this. Like
What is every time? It's happened twice.
Dude, like,
I've known him for so long.
No.
I've known
man.
Stager for
Thank
so
you so
many
much.
times. But when it comes to your fashion, he's always killing it.
Yeah, thank you, King.
Yeah.
So come sit on. Sure, King.
Stager, you wear many caps. Obviously, today we're going to be talking about a play that the both of you are doing called Intombi Nto.
Sure.
But let's talk a little bit about you. You are a gentleman who wears many hats. You're
Sure.
a director, a choreographer, and an actor as well.
Sure.
You do these many things,
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about that, Uguti? Where do you get that from?
Sure, thank you, King. Sinenhlanhla original usuke eMpumalanga. Like eMpumalanga eMbalenhle. Ngintwana ka Howard Dladla, brother, the legend himself, a theater maker, a beautiful writer, beautiful choreographer, like iyo yonke into. So la mahead sokhuluma ngawo before imarket lab. So ngikhulela art center, baba muni art center chief. So bengihlezi ngimbheka creating shows like before even ngivela. So mangivela ngumntana ngeduku uyabona abadlali abona abacula but uyayithanda nengoma nawe sineneni soyabalingisela so dance njengabo sineneni so stage sibona so act ubona baba kusika kufundisa so lento siyincelebeleni like art center bekuyidlala lami even imarket theater ngiyazi before ngena skele like bekuba nama field workers afana abo Prathemba Mkhoma, abo Mphile Milusi, abo Vice Munaheng, abo Brasai, Sipho Coach Sibongo sakhe. The late Ncedi Shabanga Katebeza basipana ne-time. So bengizohlala ngabheka every time abnikeza ama-notes. Sometimes mabahashi ngithi abobani ama-time azokukhuluma nobaba kanje. Like ngikwade kuthethisa ubaba lo. But ngifuna ukufunda, ngifuna ukufana, ngithanda futhi Prathemba, Bramthizu. Like Maka baba amanu some kind of tal. How I think lentwana la as tuna reading tuna le time that tuna. So na mang talang fun tuna reading. So ngathi ngifuna direct ngifuna ukufunda and ngifuna ukufunda la basuka khona market theater. So it was one of my dreams ukuthi ngibe yi market theater. So ngizibone sengila senkelezisa la so lama heads lama caps of choreographer, director, actor, mover, facilitator. So good time alarm. Howard Dladla is asela duma and thanks to market lab training yabo intense ukuthi basipolishe basishine is questioning even more ngisithole even more even lezinto lezi time alarm ezingangikelezisanga zona ngisithole la market lab chief inzwembu like siyazi. Yeah, so I think Lama Caps are King. Sure,
Snitch. I've had a privilege of having a conversation with you, Utai Malako.
Sure.
He's a great guy. But I'm just wondering, Guti, after you graduated at Market Lab, your siblings followed through. So I'm just wondering,
Sure.
Guti, would you say with your dad influenced them, or would you say it's you? Because when I watch them, they're dope, but I can see a lot of Snage's influence in their acting.
Sure. Thank you, King. I think na influence time alarm. Ngibone time alarm liyenza, but alingifakanga. I was like, hey, baba, do this thing or none. But even ngize market time, I was like, hey, boy, forget about the art. Angisho shy mates. Go to Sasol. Shy bola making none.
Yes,
Time what a kwan man. Not after yonke lento le ngifundise in. Then ngiyaza straight to a market. Obviously, like I blueprint is ithole good time. But now masengifika la ngeblueprint time plus kuba usnature the training ithole market the facilitators engiwatholayo la then ngithola something nami so ama siblings athathe utime but athatha nakimi kakhulu ngoba ubhuti so maphuma emarket uyini into ayenzayo uthini usifundisa ini nani so I think kanjalo like siyahlonipha ekhaya lento le like yeah I lifestyle akusi yes sayibheke TV yes sayifunda entweni ezibhaya but ila chief ngiyakhona ukufunda futhi kuandile ngiyakhona ukufunda futhi kumandisa ngithi hey yona andile uyenze kanjani lento le simuntu emncane nakimi but khona ezinye izinto like ngizothi ungasifundisi khona izinto eziraw chief awuzazi ukuthi ziphumaphi angeke ngithi mina like nami ngiraw or njani no ngitalented no chief I'm trained and ngiyahlonipha training but kukhona ama elements aphuma nobuhlaza nani I think nami nginayo influence especially uandile like yazi andile my sister mazifunde noandile so like yazi ukuthi lezinye izinto zisuke kuphapheni kwami utabheka usine unjani ibheka ama dress kanjani awubheka ukuphapha even we borrow from ukuphapha to icraft yethu like joba ngishilo ukuthi lifestyle thina creator from kuthina like inspiration sithatha from a space in sithatha from ukuthi ubani ucabangani ubani uthini asithathe kudeni ngivalele space in then we will create so I think influence isuka kimi then lo munye ilandele usuka kulo munye but you blueprint how it lasts like time shocking.
Last question before Nolwazi. You are one of the people that I know that are very, very disciplined and you respect your craft. Like if I know actors and then I know Snage. And I know when it comes to Snage, either you're a choreographer or either you're working with other people, you're always demanding 100%. So I'm just wondering, with your work ethic, ibuyapi? And how do you stay motivated? Because like, for other people, it's you can do it for a month and then after a month you just want to disappear. Think that breaks and katela. But for years that I've been knowing you, always being consistent regardless of what's happening around you.
No, thank you, King. I think your motivation is good time alarm shoot. Like ngizomreference akabhaya because of le out bayirobile. Like yazi umuntu amrobile, umuntu talented, sometimes uhleli. It's nini ubheka show your time. But no ways man, let show your time. So umuntu abamthathile. So le out le new vibe le gas la bangalazi umthembu bakhe bangamazi so motivator uye like no mama la ngisuka khona like ifamily yami ama siblings zami like ukuthi sikhulele at center like motivator mangibona ama open high mass enza lento abazenzayo ukuthi le gas kenziwa so lamabhuni nani bayithatha serious why thina sizoba unique or soba njalo wonke umuntu ufuna ukuba yiyo yonke lento ayiyo no ways man le gas I think ibalekile so ngithatha ngalento le mathi ngiphush le gas la kaMgeyi ngiphush le gas le time lami udlala mama uMgeyi but mangithi ngibafaka bonke so I think the legacy le time la ngimotivate kubona ama siblings ami ayiphusha lento ngimotivate ukufundisa mina like ucala into from kungana next just like Intombi Nto like the idea like i-device le piece le like then bangizosebenza nabantu abanjalo bazongi-invite space in like kune idea into so then si create kobe le piece ngiyenza ukuthi like yangihlanyisa like yangicharge and before futhi uvaya like khona question ebuzile about heads and ngifuna ukukhuluma about Intombi Nto so I don't know ukuthatha isikhathi but briefly like even if noma ngena kwamanye ama piece like kwini njengamanje ngingena as direct but ngilethe ubsnage mangithi ubsnage like chief I can choreograph like ngizozala into le unless if I phone I can write you can devise we can like ngileta ubumina to the process akuna ukuthi usine direct usine actor usine wathwate hence ngithanda ama process adivizile like abo Intombi Nto so yiyo la makepisi engihamba nawo nje amangwalahle and bankana imbobo phezulu
well stage Nolwazi, I'm gonna take it to you, and it's sad because we have a little bit of time. But I just wanted to help people understand who are these people that I'm talking to this morning. There was a time where I was worried after generation. I was Snager. I was just worried. What be the dope people that are gonna come out? Then I had a privilege of watching Mgeyi. Who's that girl? And they're like, oh, Nolwazi. I'm like, bro, she's dope. It's one of the production that I saw you, first time getting to see you and how you embodied these many characters in different forms and how authentic you were. You went an extra mile. So can you give us a little bit of background about you before we talk about Intombi Nto?
Oh, thank you. I'm the opposite of Sneh. I wasn't.
Okay.
I knew nothing about arts as I was growing up.
But don't swim.
Yeah. Stop it.
So
I
you
knew
didn't choose it;
nothing.
it chose you, basically.
I think so. Yeah. The only thing I remember is that when I was like maybe 11 years old or 10, I don't know if I watched something or if I had a friend who, I don't know, but all of a sudden I wanted to act, right? And I told my parents, and I guess I was so into it that I was like, in high school, I want to go to an art school. And then we went to NSA for like orientation or whatever it's called when you go there to inquire about the school before you even apply and stuff. And my dad was like, yeah, I think it was open day. My dad was like, never. Then I let it go, and then matric happened, and my mom and I had agreed, okay, I'm good at accounting, so I'm going to pursue something in accounting. I don't know what happened. I can't remember a lot, but I just remember going, no, I can't. I'd much rather do, if you guys feel like there's no money here, I'd much rather maybe do behind the scenes. Is that fine? And I remember we had like a fight with my mom for a year, and I was like, I'm not going to do anything. And for that year, then I just, it's not that I wasn't doing anything, but I wasn't at school. I guess it was a discovery year. And then the year after that, my mom was like, okay, cool, go do a qualification. And then, I did film and TV. I did that and I finished. And then I worked a year after that. I interned. Hated it. And as I was like working that year, I was doing part-time at the market lab. Now I don't remember how I found out about it. And then from there I was like, okay, I'm going to audition for full-time, and then that's how it happened. So yeah,
I love it. We're going to have a proper conversation some other day, including now Sinenhlanhla, because it's hard to track. To give people a little bit of context, this is a hijacking interview. We had to try to do so.
Thank you for hijacking us.
None of us were prepared coming into this, but I thank you that you guys extended that grace, Can you talk a little bit about Intombi Nto, because like I was actually thinking, what would be the direct translation ka Setswana, but something that would come close ke monyana nya, like kgotsa re tla be re re monyana tota. So this is somebody that has reached maturation into woman's boot, right?
Nice,
okay.
nice.
Yeah,
Thina mama
Intombi
athi like munyana tota masezulwini ngathi intombazana
So tota is not an actual word, but it's something that we use to like emphasize something, So basically maskuma nge original, So we're gonna add tota. Yeah. Exactly. So could you talk a little bit about how this production came about, and then also can you tell us what is it about?
Okay, so we were doing our last year, second year at the lab, and there's this thing called suitcase pieces, where basically, because the lab teaches you how to make, right, which is wonderful, because they don't just teach us how to perform, but to be makers, so that we're not just dependent on getting work, but we can also make work. Second years get an opportunity to make a suitcase piece. So what a suitcase piece is, they try to give you an opportunity to make a piece that you can continue with further in your career after school. That can be packed in a suitcase. That's because they understand that costs. They understand the business. They understand that funding doesn't always come through and all those things. So they just like prepare you for that after school. So yeah, with the suitcase piece, one of us, Qwabe, had an idea of something traditional about women, young girls especially. And you pitch the idea and you just ask in the class who wants to be a part of it. And she had asked, and a few of us were interested. Then obviously we got to making it, and it turned out to be something else. It was a bit different than what we initially wanted, but the essence of it remained true. We wanted to tell a story for women by women. And so what Intombi Nto essentially is it's a satirical piece that has a mixture of modernity and traditional. We are specifically investigating purity culture.
Oh.
Yeah, purity culture, and purity culture in relation to women, because we feel like purity culture literally only exists for women at this point.
Of course.
You know, because they say this thing exists, there's all these rules, but they only apply to women. And, you know, and so it's different ways of investigating purity culture in different aspects, in different environments, in the white community, maybe not the white community, but in like a Western way, but versus not even versus in a Western way, but in also a traditional cultural way, in a way that is like a mixture, in a way that is internalized purity culture, in a way that is imposed purity culture. So yeah, it's really nice in that sense that we're talking about that, and we are women making it for women.
Okay.
And Snare understands it. It's so ridiculous that he's so good at this. So we had no other choice but to get him. But yeah, during the process, we were like, he wasn't our mentor, so we get mentors. We thought it was going to be super traditional, so we had a different mentor. And as we were doing it, we were like, this is satirical, but more than satirical, it's like very Snare. Even the musicality, the style, the play, the physicality. And so we were like, we know you're not our mentor, and we didn't like pay you, you know, because mentors get paid, but we asked for help, and he's always willing to help. And so he helped us, he kept coming in. And from there on, we were like, yeah, no, we know, even before we performed the piece, we knew we wanted to grow it, and we knew we wanted to grow it with him. So we performed the piece, and we got the very same feedback from people that like, oh, you should grow this. And so here we are, we're with him. And yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and shout out also to Mentor. Yeah.
He did such a good job.
Yes. Yeah. What's Qwabe's name?
Oli Bongwana.
Yes.
I hope I'm saying that right.
Yes.
But he was a big part of it. It's just that the style was very
Yeah.
But he played a major part. So shout out to Oli. We love him so much.
From be smooth. But Gold's nature, sure.
Yeah. And he's quite busy. He's like always out of the country. So so love it for him.
Sure. Yeah. Sneja, Nolwazi just pointed out to something here, Guti. This is a story about women, but she was also talking about the hypocrisy of our culture. Guti, there are certain things that are done to women. For example, Tina Majita are equivalent to you know, to check Guti, you know, tested for virginity, you know, isn't jalo.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, you as a male director, because this is an all-female cast, you know, and funny enough, this is not the first time working on a show like this where there was like an all-female cast, where the conversation was around female issues or women's issues. I'm sorry for the word, women's issues, issues that they face, you know, but yet from time to time, a number of women come to you because somehow you are a safe space, and somehow, as Nolwazi said, you seem to be understanding these dynamics or what women go through. What was it like for you?
I think the one compliment, if you know, we should maybe as understand or none. I think I need to see give me as a style. Number one, this is very snare job, like the satire, like satire, like young satire. But ngapanti sort of say bullshit. We know it's satire.
Of course.
It's a mocker, since I don't sense as satire, since I bad. We are fighting. So number one, I think very style, but number two, Magash understand, like Tata is a compliment because of Chief, like I'm a gentleman, like say as in the Zenzayo, say as I'm a cheating the Zenzayo, say as would do a trash. But Tinama so do a better trash on our Zafunda, Zam unlearn as I'm Bafundis and none. So I think namule better trash there, wouldn't unlearn as in Fundes in Donam Tomazan. I hold space for Bona, not because of Nhlaganpile or I know better, but Chief says, Nabachana, Mamantomazana, you know, Mama, Kuluso Mama, like Unfundisi les into like even the manch, as in yes, since from the stratin. but masesikhula soyazibona ukuthi no chief we must unlearn these things and kumele sikhulume kumele sibizane like kabe lo mngane ethu chief angeke ukhole out ube mezichair uhamba nathi nani I don't think leyo sekele leyo angeke kwenze kanjalo sizokubiza and sizokhuluma ngayo sizodika ngayo decisively yeah it's not even mina kuphela things around the amashita bhaya njalo if makhona umuntu ongathi uphuma endleleni like isayenza lento leyo for sure and lempi le akusi impi yabafazi kuphela chief yeah abaziripi they do not love themselves it's a perpetrator like you know it's a chance so it's very important ukuthi sizibandakanye kuma conversations aso singawasabi singahlalele move ngabe fight yabo bala nabo bana like yeah sure sibonakale nathi chief asikhulume asikhuzaneni boy child to a boy child chief beka lento iyabheda iqale ema crash abantwana abancane abama-gents so I think that's why I feel like I feel ngakhona ukuthi ngathi maybe ngi-safe space fishing alala but yeah sure I think nalo energy leyo like ngiyayi-question but sometimes banokungicriticize akuthi why umjida why azongena into kanje nginoyithola of which ama-conversations are sharp nami engiwafatelayo and engawasabi uka-challenge ukuthi jo like sikule lesonke like umjida kusho ukuthi kumele ngithule ngivala umlomo ngihlale ebackseat or ngenzeni no ngiyazi ukuthi kwenzakalani ngiyabona kwenza sinamehla rondo sonke sinegazi abantu bafa abosisi bethu so I think ileyo nkani leyo nale nhliziyo leyo lekunayo ukuthi umuntu mfethu like umuntu yeah I think isuka la
I love it
yeah.
As a guy, as another better treasure, I'm proud of you.
Sure.
I love that term. I love that term.
Samele sifunde chief. Yeah, samele unlearn ezinye izinto ezibhaya. And esibalalele. Speaking of sorry ngaze ngibuzanga then, but is piece yabo. Mina I don't direct ukuthi bathini bakhulume kanjani nani. My responsibility is style, language, tone, creativity ukuthi into kanjani ngaphuma kanjani nani but I don't detect the emotions I don't detect angeke ngithi but I don't think lamel feel so la no man ithi futhi kancane no like basho story sabo na whole space then ngiyafacilitate ngiyathunga mina
yeah
sure king
I love it you know it's funny Nolwazi because I've seen so many theater shows and from time to time when I see a smooth transition like I always know it's here Sinenhlanhla was involved, and then I always go to the director. Go to come here. Who was directing that? Because I know he liked to be like 2 hours before Muntavela, but this was smooth. So I just want to know, Nolwazi, because the Intombi Nto obviously is centered around this hyper modernity versus traditional woman. I just want to know from you or from your observation, Guti. What do you think came up with this? Do you think, Guti, can we blame it on patriarchy as well? And also, what is it that as men can do? Because I feel like already Usneja is playing a role by being part of fixing the problem that was inflicted by us men. Because as Ashilo, Guti, it's us who are actually doing these things. But I'm just wondering, Guti, who's getting to uphold these things? Guti, there must exist a modern woman and a cultural woman, and also is there a way that we can find a balance? What are we trying to do? Are we trying to do away with the other, or trying to do away with the other, or are we trying to find a way to like coexist? What are we trying to do with Intombi Nto?
Oh, with Intombi Nto.
Or from your personal perspective, it doesn't have to be about the play.
But I think the Intombi Nto like
sure.
You can mix sure.
Oh, you asked something in the beginning. Oh yes, definitely. It's obvious. It's the patriarchy. Yeah. It is, you know. It's a complex topic, and it needs a lengthy conversation, and it needs us to be a lot more nuanced and not make blanket statements or whatever.
Of course.
But for, I'll just try to keep it short. But obviously, it's the patriarchy. It's so, because that's who it benefits. It's just another umbrella under the patriarchy. The patriarchy is the parent, and then these other umbrellas and stuff. But yeah, that's what it is. It is that. I don't know how it came about. We don't know how it came about. We are actually investigating the different ways that it came about. And it's nice that you spoke about the middle ground, because as we're doing the show, when you talk about topics like this, it's very nice that it gets you in a position where you have to really investigate, really think, really learn, really research, so that you don't awuyikheli phezulu indaba. You get the nuance and the complexities of everything. And because we've done that, and we continuously do that, and we still sometimes get to blogs and have to think and do more research, but because of that, we have realized that actually the middle ground is the best thing, because we have found that some of the cultural practices actually stemmed from a good place, and then somewhere along the lines got poisoned, and then that became and then it was used as an oppressive tool towards women. And with modernity as well, we don't want to overcorrect, because it's so easy to overcorrect to a point where you have swayed so far to the other side that it's actually doing more harm than good to fix the system. So with this whole our show, our play, we are, and it's an open conversation. We really have made it like an open conversation. It's there's no one way, but there is a correct answer. So there isn't. I'm not saying every answer is correct, because that would be untrue to what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be nice to misogyny. We're not trying to be nice to patriarchy. If it feels like we are being rude and disrespectful, that's what we're trying to do, because it's a system that oppresses us. So we're not trying to approach it in a nice way. We don't need, like Sneh, it's wonderful. We don't need to be nice in order for you to want to engage. It's like with Sneh. Sure. Sneh doesn't need for us to tiptoe around misogyny and patriarchy for him to what he said, want to do better, want to take accountability and say, this is what we do as a gender, even though he doesn't do that. So we are not trying to hide. We're not trying to tiptoe. We're not trying to do any of that. We are giving you the show, but we're also opening up the conversation, and we are educating. We are open to being educated back. It's an investigation. I keep saying investigation because I feel like we have a long way to go until we have a long way to go. I don't think the purity culture thing will be answered instantly. I think we will continuously investigate why it is, where it stemmed from, what the purpose was. Do we still need it? Do we do away with it entirely? Do we pick and choose things from it? Is that disrespectful? And things like that. We constantly investigate, we constantly do that. So our show is very much that. But it's we love the fact that it's satire, because it's a very important issue, but the style is beautiful, because we don't make it heavy. It's already heavy.
It's palatable.
Even us, we don't. Yeah. If it's for the audience, yes, it is palatable. Obviously, we care about our audience, but even for us, we already live in the heaviness. We don't need to make it heavy. We want to talk about it because it's important, but we also realize that we can talk about it in a way that is not heavy, that is still true, that still addresses it, that doesn't do away with the importance of it, but in a different way. And I think we enjoy also that.
Ngakhawathi ama-actors.
Yeah.
So, ngoba njengoba shilo ukuthi bayiphila into abayiphila every time. So baphinde bayiphile for the stage.
They're reliving the trauma again and again.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Sure. That's why the style also.
Nolwazi, last question. I'm going to say to the both of you, I'm extending another invite so that we can properly have a conversation around this with
and with the other girls as well, the rest of the
class. Of course we will arrange that, because there's so many intricacies and nuances that we need to explore. But I want to throw something at you before we close. There's a quote by, I think, Bella Hooks. I can't remember the quote properly, but she spoke something about misogyny and patriarchy having no gender, And when I listen to this, I'm realizing, Gucci, the upholders of these things right now are actually women, although it was patriarchy. Because sometimes when you speak about patriarchy, when people are attacking patriarchy, we're thinking they're attacking us men, but no, it's not us men. It's a system that benefit men, that was introduced by men, but somehow there are different upholders of these things. I mean, talking about the purity culture, talking about this virginity testing, it's women who are doing this. So I don't know, what do you make of that? And Do you think women have to become more radical? Of course, we spoke about the parts that we have to do or undo as men, but do you think there is a way that women can be more radical in trying to create this new world?
We don't shy away. I personally don't shy away from internalized misogyny. I think it would be stupid and illogical to shy away from the fact that we all have internalized misogyny. It's hard. It's entirely impossible. It's inherently impossible to live in the world and not have some kind of internalized misogyny, even as a woman. Even in the play, we don't hide that. We don't at all. We're not. The play is the truth. We're not trying to, but I won't disagree with the upholders of patriarchy and misogyny being women. I think women are part of the perpetuators, but the upholders have always been.
That's what I was trying to say, but yeah.
I think women are partly perpetuators, and for understandable reasons, really, because if that's how you were brought up, that's how you were raised, that's how the indoctrination of it, you have to do so much work to untether yourself from that and to not inflict that onto the next generation, So we're not taking away the responsibility from women, but we also understand that would be Wikela Pezulu, what we say.
Yeah.
Because it's the roots. No one wants to support a system that oppresses them. It's a certain indoctrination. It's such a deep thing. But with our play, we even address that. We do all those things that you talked about: the virginity testing, the constant emphasis on this is how you're supposed to behave as a woman. From women. We talk about all of that, and it's important to us that we show it in its entirety. And we present it to people and say, hey, let's talk about this. And this is what we have to say as well.
I love it. Can't wait to see the piece.
Thank you.
Of course, there's so much unlearning that we have to do as people. And what you just said is same thing that we do as black people. You know how Snaja, how apartheid came, and somehow us black people, we were the same people who were perpetuating apartheid, taking standards, doing the very same thing that they were doing to us, to other black people, So, it's something that we have to look deep at it, if you want to fix it. Snaja, what is it that you guys are hoping for people to see, because it's a beautiful piece. It's an important conversation that people have to have. There's so many things that we have to do. There's so much unlearning that we have to do as people. And I'm just realizing from some of the things that she said, still have to go and do some unlearning further. But, what is it that you hope for people to take away from the show?
Sure, Chief. I hope this piece is not about hope, man. Not about the dash. One day. I'm a so we should people not change on faith, ngaba revolution, ngaba movement. Chief when COVID, then ngaba lockdown, wavala izinto, wavala itrade kwenzakala nani kwamiwa. So izinto ezikanjalo why singathathe ezi pandemic na serious. On a serious note, I wish ngaba movement. I don't know how. But I don't know how. But that's what lento serious chief. Ngoba yaqhubeka and I stop and yaqhubeka bayafa bosisibethu kahle ngoba hlezi sikhuluma hle ina nakuthandazwa kwenziwe nakukhulunywa ngaba movement serious. If you can't tell me ayime chief still ngalento le even namanje njengoba sikhuluma so bayingakho baba barepile bayingakho babulele njengoba sikhuluma so I really wish mina ngama ngisayibheka njenge peace but kube movement serious endenzakalayo ukuthi kanjani but ngiyafisa ukuthi I think babeza futhi bazobheka ishow abantu and bazobona but ngabe kuya ngama serious note if kumele kuchitheke igazi sorry kusho kanjalo njalo if kumele kuchitheke igazi if kumele kube khona abantu abafayo la ukuthi lento le izithathe serious chief ithathe serious manje ngama countries achintshayo El Salvador bese ibhekile nayo the guy uthathe yonke in what's this thing what's the term like a crime wayithatha wayibeka to 0% to 0% ngokudecide ukuthi ngiyabathatha abotsotsi ngiyabavalela ekho umuntu ezongitshela ekho umuntu ezenzani yes khona bebe abantu abalimalile abancane abangakhawuthekanga why not singadili ngama perpetrator decisively like singawaxoleli mabekaze chief kube ne harsh punishment ngoba bazenza lezi zinto lezi bayaphuma sichila nabo sihlala nabo kwenzakala no sometimes wena ongathi udila ngayo badila ngayo back futhi like yeah uthi uzama uzenza uzenza better trash athi khombise like lezo zinto lezo like sesiphila kwenye society ehlanyayo but I really wish ukuthi ngaba ne movement serious like they treat it serious lento le new sure.
So Sinenhlanhla, what you're basically saying, Guti, this is an agent call for people to change. And another thing that I want to ask you, Guti, do you feel, Guti, that we're not taking it as agent as possible because of somehow this patriarchy and internalized monologue? Yes, what's misogyny is actually protecting us. So we don't get to see and feel the pain that women are actually feeling.
We are not, chief. We are not. We are friends. Bonke labantu abalephayo banabangani.
Yeah.
Yeah, bonke labantu banabobhuti, bananani, but basahlala, basaphuza amabhiya, basachila. Like asibathathe sibenze ilwane, sibavalele emakhoneni baba ama-alien, sipile ngabo decisively. So nami ngithi no. And nami ngiyasifaka lapho. I'm not saying I'm better or in. I think as a machita, ziningi izinto ekumele sizenze better. Including myself. Yeah, sure.
Vete, I want to take this time, Nolwazi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sinenhlanhla, thank you so much.
Thank you, King. Thank you.
Nolwazi, can we just wrap it up by telling people where can they watch the show and what can they expect, a prize and everything?
You're so stupid. So the show will be on at the Market Theatre Laboratory at the Hamlau Makene Theatre from the 6th until the 8th of June.
So
we have a show at 7 on the 6th, 7 p.m. On the 8th, we have a matinee. No, on the 7th, we have a matinee at 3, and we have another one at 7 as well. And then Sunday, we have one at 3. And tickets are priced at 100 Rand and 80 Rand for students.
Sure.
And we are fundraising to go to NAF because we have been accepted into the French program.
Yeah.
So please come support. Give us as much money as you can. But it's a really refreshing, beautiful show. Come watch it. And my girl said I must shout them out. So shout out to my classmates, my loves, my fellow collaborators, my everythings. Nomvelo Qwabe, Mashutu Makhalimele, Tabi Shazi, Nolwazi Qwabe, directed by Sinenhlanhla Mgeyi.
Sure.
So yeah.
Shout out to Qwabe King, like shout out to Ali Yamatintela, to Lindovane, Sibahle Mangena for this movement, for now
Text me
ladies, like
yeah.
Si struggle si one, si dinte fanayo na bosi. Yeah, shout out Bon. Yeah, no so na la so na.
No comment. No comment. No.
Thank you, King.
No comment. Hey man, thank you so much to KK is being patient over there. Since us niggas 5 minutes a long time, I'm sure
thank you, man.
3 minutes. Yeah, he was shy.
Thank you, King.
Thank you, KK.
Thank you so much for watching. It was Nolwazi on Sinenhlanhla, very talented individual. Please go there and watch them. My name is Kabelo Sekeftra, signing out.
Hi, yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
man.
for having me.